As we progress to more competitive drills, we like to utilize chaser sprints to create competition. Here, the front athlete is the rabbit and the back athlete is the chaser. As the coach gives a command, set, go, both athletes will aggressively and explosively get off the ground and sprint for a designated distance. The athlete in front is attempting to run 10, 15, 20, 25 yards without being tagged. The athlete behind is trying to catch that athlete by tagging him prior to the completion of the sprint. Creates good competition, and athletes seem to enjoy competition. It's important that you keep your exercises fun and use variety in your training. Here we're utilizing a belt. This belt is connected by Velcro, the athlete A to athlete B. If the front athlete, athlete A, outruns the athlete behind him, he'll actually break the belt. It's the athlete's goal in front to break the belt, while it's the athlete's goal that is in the second position, the B position, to run equally as fast as the front athlete so the belt will not break. It is also important to develop top speed. We invest approximately 25% of our training in top speed development. This first movement we call a build-up, where our athlete gradually builds up speed over 40 yards, each time increasing his speed from 10, 20, 30, and 40 yards. We normally run about 60% in the first stage. As we progress to the second stage, we progress to 70, 80, and 90%. When we are developing top speed, we rarely go over 90% of the athlete's maximum speed. We are trying to improve the athlete's ability to run at top speed with perfect running mechanics. You see the athlete here does a good job of keeping his posture, hips tall position. He has good arm action, chin to hip, elbows in, rotating at the shoulder, and he's stepping over his opposite knee as he runs. Knee up, toe up, striking the ground underneath the hip. Perfect PAL mechanics at 90% effort. This drill is called a wave sprint, where an athlete starts at 60% and then increases his speed in between the cones to 90% effort. At that point, he'll slow down and then pick up speed again. We usually use 2 intervals where we're in and 2 intervals where we're out. 2 intervals at 60%, 2 intervals at 90%. Again, trying to develop the athlete's ability to run at 90% effort with perfect running mechanics. Our next exercise in the progression is called a flying 30, where the athlete will gradually build up speed over 15 yards and then he'll run at top speed 90% for 30 yards. We'll use a 15-yard area to allow the athlete to decelerate. Again, we want to apply good PAL mechanics, hips tall posture, arm action, chin to hip, good leg action, stepping over the opposite knee, striking the ground underneath the hip. Lateral speed and change of direction. We also use the acronym PAL to describe the mechanics that we use when we move laterally. P now stands for push, pushing to move. A stands for athletic base, keeping your feet apart, at least shoulder width apart, and L stands for low center of gravity. Here you see our athlete working on lateral mechanics. P, pushing to move. We use the muscles that extend the lower body because they are far superior in strength to the muscles that adduct or pull your knees together. So we're developing the ability to push this athlete off his right leg. He's pushing off his right foot, moving towards his left. The strong muscles that extend the lower body, the muscles that extend the ankle, knee, and hip, are used to move laterally. We have a band around the athlete's ankle to help reinforce our push mechanics. The athlete also benefits from the band as he maintains his athletic base. It's also important you would keep that low center of gravity, keep the hips down. The lower you are, the stronger you are. It's much harder to be pushed off balance when you have a nice low center of gravity. Now the athlete has a band wrapped around the knees. This is a tougher exercise, providing more resistance on the muscles that abduct or abduct the knee. Working on lateral PAL mechanics, pushing to move, keeping an athletic base, and a low center of gravity. Outstanding mechanic drills for developing your ability to move laterally. As our athlete gets better, we can progress at higher speeds. Now we have a jump stretch band that's around the athlete's neck and feet. This band will actually pull the athlete down into a low position. This is an advanced exercise that requires a fair amount of lower body strength. If the athlete is weak, it will pull the athlete's chest down and they will not be able to maintain a good athletic position. Our next movement is called a skate hop. The emphasis here is on controlling the body eccentrically as we land on the outside leg and redirect by pushing at a 45-degree angle. This is an outstanding exercise for developing stabilization strength, eccentric body control, as well as changing direction. Now we have two bands tied together in an exercise that we call a 1-2 cut. This is a very advanced movement that requires some explanation. The benefit of this exercise is actually when the athlete is pulled towards the coach and loads his right leg in this drill, or his near leg to the coach. By pulling the athlete at a higher rate of speed requires great body control in order to stabilize yourself and redirect off that leg that is near to the coach. We call it a 1-2 cut because the athlete is actually moving 1 step, 2 steps,